Hello! I wanted to talk to you today about a Monteverde Regatta Sport. Now there is an older model of this pen out there which is available in a little bit more conservative colors and without this this carbon fiber around it. I actually really like the blue and white one, or I guess it's blue and, I don't know, blue and silver, blue and white, it's all the same. But I like this finish a lot better. Carbon fiber is just cool. I don't know if it serves any useful purpose in this pen, but it sure does look cool. But I love this. Here's why. It's a magnet. Oops, not close enough. Whoop! You see that? It just kind of snaps on and off. I could get super annoying right here just playing with it. And it snaps onto the back. Whoop! And it's pretty secure. You know, it's just fun. Like I said, I could go crazy just capping and uncapping this pen. Oops. Oh, well, hello, you caught me. I was just playing with my Monteverde Regatta Sport. So, I first reviewed this pen. Let me just look at the date here because I don't remember it. September 19th, 2014. So I decided it was due for a revisit. And, yeah, I remembered the addictive nature of... And I hope the microphone is capturing just how annoying that is. Because, yeah, I love doing that. It has a magnetic cap. And unlike some of my other pens with magnetic features, it hasn't failed since 2014. So that's 10 years I've owned this pen, and it hasn't failed yet. Magnetically, at least. So what about everything else? What do I think of the pen now? Well, let's find out. And we'll do some revisits to my previous 2014 video, which, as of this date, still has only 423 views. So, yeah, not one of my popular videos, and definitely one of my very earliest videos. So let's dive into it. I have a review for the Monteverde Intima in which I used the fine point nib on the pen. These nibs are pretty much interchangeable between the different pens. But here I put the stub nib on 1.1 millimeter. Before I said 1.5 millimeter, I was wrong. I'm using the Diamine China Blue as my ink. And since you don't flex a stub nib, I guess you could. Let's see. What's the point? I wrote the word variation, and you know, stub nib, you get some nice variation. It's a very wet feed, so it makes it write very wet. I like this pen. I will also say that this is one of the few pens which I write posted. The reason I write posted, I think I've mentioned this in the review, is it's just so much fun to be annoying and do that with it. But overall, very impressive writer. You do have to aim your stub right or else you don't get anything, as you saw right there and right there. This is the Monteverde Regatta Sport. When it first came out, I thought its design was striking. It replaced a Monteverde Regatta that was actually kind of attractive, but this one was kind of unique because of the carbon fiber in it. It's a metal pen, and some of the metal has begun to lose its finish. The carbon fiber is a nice touch, although it doesn't really do anything. The yellow paint is holding on better than the black on the clip. Oh, and it's a magnetic cap. So if you want to be that annoying guy at a meeting where you're just constantly going, buy this pen. And if, you know, you're writing and you have it posted, you can still be that guy at the meeting because it, you know. I did replace the nib that was on it. I don't remember exactly what I bought, but I thought this black nib would look better. This is some kind of a stub nib. I want to say a 1.1. Also showing some chipping of the paint. So finishes aren't doing great with this pen. Oh, and it's cartridge converter, if you can't tell. Now, I want you to notice how well it did that. And I'm being serious. Last pens in use I did with this pen, I used the same ink, but on a brand of paper. I'm not sure what the brand of paper is. And it, pardon my French, sucked. Let's see if it's in a better mood this week. Actually, it doesn't look amazing, but I think this pen may have been having a bad week. So that's nice to make that conclusion. Oh, never mind. It hates this paper. Alright, the ink in this pen is Lamy. Oh, see, it's working well again. Lamy turquoise. And we will, of course, do the Pierre Gustafson test on this paper. So way back when I first started doing this, let's zoom in a little so you can get the whole effect. Back the first time I did a video on this pen, I wasn't doing the Pierre Gustafson test. Hadn't even heard of Pierre Gustafson then. I knew almost nothing about fountain pens back then. I was a babe in the woods, as they say. Now I'm a toddler in the woods. Just big enough to get myself in trouble. Still too small and young to know anything. Alright, flex. We have wetness and flow. I don't like how I hold this pen. That section is step up. I just don't like it. It's also heavy. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Unposting it definitely helped that. I had not had this pen out in years because I just found I don't enjoy it. Smear test. Whoop! Yeah, she's wet enough. Reverse writing. I don't think I did this test back when I originally it was okay, but it's a stub nib, so. And finally, the world famous Pierre Gustafson test. Yeah, we started to suck that up. And these downstrokes. So, not a pen for rapid writing. But this is a revisit to a Survivor pen. Don't know how it survived, probably because I couldn't find anybody who wanted it desperately enough. But it survived. It's still in my collection. So we're going to do a quote, and let me just tell you, I got it in my head. Let's do a quote for carbon fiber. And yeah, there's a lot of quotes with the word carbon and the word fiber in them. Really couldn't find any good quotes about carbon fiber. So we'll do our best. I've got one from Amory Lovins. Reinventing fire, bold business solutions for the new energy era. So, apropos of nothing, fun fact about me, back in college I did a independent study for credit on the space elevator concept, which is running a cable from Earth up into space and then using that to either launch things into space or bring things from space down to Earth. If you've seen the TV show Foundation, there is one of those that used there on the planet Trantor. I want to say The Expanse had one, but I can't remember for sure. If you've read Arthur C. Clarke's Songs of Distant Earth, they use one there. In fact, one of the characters dies on it. So, they're in fiction. I read a book, and I can't remember its title, which was about a revolution on Mars, where they actually brought one down all over Mars. And then people were cutting themselves on the filament that it was made out of, because, of course, it was carbon fiber filament, which is what I proposed in my project back in college. And carbon fiber is remarkably flexible and just has a lot of really good properties. I think it's one of those products of the future. We're not quite using it to its potential yet, but I think its time will come. And of course, carbon, we are talking a relatively common element here on Earth. I mean, you're made out of carbon, assuming you're not one of the silicon-based life forms that's invading Earth and pretending to be human. I'm made out of carbon, assuming I'm not one of those silicon-based life forms. Most life is made out of carbon, so. Anyway, back to the pen. Alright, so it was the Monteverde Regatta Sport. Not quite 10 years since I first visited this pen and revisited it. One thing I have done since then, I have put this black nib in, which I think looks better. And the pen looks decent. It's kind of a bumblebee look, with the yellow and the black. The carbon fiber is cool. It doesn't do anything, but it's cool. And, my degree is physics, but I'm into all this kind of stuff. I like science. I find it interesting to think about the carbon fiber and the molecular structure of it. How are we putting these whole carbon atoms together? And but it doesn't do anything. So, okay, it's a look, but it doesn't do anything. When I bought this pen, I was actually trying to buy two Regatta Sports. One was an older model that was, I don't know, blue and white or something. I can't remember, but never arrived, and I ended up canceling the order and getting my money back. But this pen, what do I think now? Well, I think you could tell from the video, I don't ink it up. It's heavy. It's fun playing the magnetic thing, but I get bored. It's okay in the hand, but not one of my favorites to write with. And then I run into random notebooks where it just won't write. Actually, it's one of those that I should sell because it cost me enough that it's worth selling. At the same time, I feel like maybe people would just not buy it. Maybe I should just give it away to somebody. I don't know. It's a pen that failed to impress me. I enjoyed it. I loved the heck out of it for a month or two, and then I just And yeah, that's where I'm still at 10 years later. I really thought I had found my pen, and then yeah, it's just not that great. In researching the model, I just wanted to see what the modern ones look like. They've come out with a demonstrator. Well, it's a cartridge converter pen, so how exciting is the demonstrator? Not very. I guess having carbon fibers, woohoo! But I just and as I've been filming a lot of these revisits to videos I filmed years and years ago, I'm left with a lot of deflated. I just the pens aren't that great. This is one of them. And a lot of them I've gotten rid of. The ones that were higher priced, like this one, I didn't. And, so, yeah, will you see another revisit to this in 5 more years? God, I hope not. 2029. I hope I either give this away or sell it by then. I did a pen giveaway a few years ago, and I'm almost feeling like it's time with some of these revisits I've done. Some of them I'm just like, I love this, I want to keep it, I want to love it forever and ever. And yeah, this isn't one of them. It just is nothing special. The only cool thing about it is the magnetic I remember sitting in a meeting and doing that and looking over at the guy sitting next to me, and he is staring at my pen with this look of death, and I'm just like, shoot, I am that annoying guy. You've gone to those meetings, and I don't have a ballpoint over here, but you've gone to those meetings where somebody just sits there constantly going with their ballpoint. I was that guy, only I was capping a fountain pen. Or the person who sits there going, drumming on the table, and you're just like, stop! I was that guy. So, yeah, not a fan of this pen. And, you know, I've done a lot of trades and things over the years. Nobody's interested in this pen. I think it's a sign. So I don't mind the weight of the pen. Now notice I didn't say I love the weight of the pen. It is kind of heavy. One of the things I do not like is right here where the clip clips onto the pen. There's this really rough ring. So when I put it onto my shirt pocket, it just drags and grabs at my shirt, and I can see myself wearing a hole in my shirt if I carry it around with me. Plus, this pen is big enough that when I do put it in my shirt pocket, it does clip to the shirt pocket, which is where the wear comes from, but I've got about this much sticking above the pocket, and because the pen's so heavy, it's like doink, and I've got, you know, the shirt pocket just dangling in front of me and wobbling around. It's just kind of annoying. So this is a pen that stays at home. I like it, but I don't take it anywhere because it's just too heavy to be portable. Writing is fine. Anyway, if I'm back with this pen in 2029, somebody just come over to North Dakota and slap me because I need to be rid of it. So anyway, hope that was interesting. Hope it was useful. And yeah, these Survivor pens, some of them are not winners. And this, not a winner. So thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.